guys, I have a really great video for you today, and this information came through in a way that I didn't think of it initially, and it probably came through now because so many people are getting together for the holidays, reuniting with family members whom, you know, not everybody gets along with each other, and there's a lot of past issues that are rising to the surface. And forgiveness is a really important tool for your own emotional well-being and growth. So anyway, some information came through, a different perspective came through, as well as a crystal. In fact, that's how it started. A really good crystal to have for your forgiveness practice. So let's get into it. I have a whiteboard again, and I think that'll really help to illustrate what I'm going to bring forth today for you. So anyway, let's get going. Holding a grudge against another person for something that they did or didn't do is directly because we don't understand their perspective. Most humans have a tendency to project ourselves onto the other person. In other words, how could they do that thing when I wouldn't do that thing? But we are all so completely different from each other. When we come into this world, we are under so many different planetary influences. We have a completely different blueprint. If you look into astrology, you will see how unique every person is. And not only planetary influences play a part, but there's many other influences, such as our life experience. So whatever the person did or didn't do is a direct result of their life experience, their perspective, and mostly it comes down to their fears. What do they fear? Why did they do that thing or didn't do that thing? Based on what fear does it come down to inside of themselves? The degree that we can embody forgiveness toward another person is directly proportional to the degree in which you can understand the other, or the degree in which you can understand that you can't understand them, but just the attempt to understand will put you in a different frame of mind. Just knowing that you may not be able to understand why this person did this thing, and letting go in that way, that everyone is operating from their level of perspective to the best of their ability. So a first start is letting go of your projection of yourself onto that person. And doing that puts you in a place where you can understand that they're completely different than you. So you can begin asking questions about this person. So, for example, what challenges does this person face in their lives that could have resulted in this action or non-action? Or what is it that this person fears that could have resulted in this? Or what challenges do they face that could have resulted in whatever it is that you're angry about or holding a grudge over? But likely you won't be able to answer a lot of these questions. So it really comes down to understanding that you may not understand and letting go in a way that it's more of an acceptance. So once you kind of go through some of those questions, you will likely begin to realize that you're not going to have the answers to those questions, most likely, if it's someone you work with, or it just depends on how well you know them. But when you begin to ask yourself those questions, it can put you in a different frame of mind where you may begin to start to embody forgiveness. holding anger or a grudge inside of yourself, it's like it's contraction. It's an energetic contraction, and it's like a stone inside of you. It's stagnant energy that's going to create other challenges in your life, because as I've said, and I'll probably say it in every single video, that our outside world is a direct reflection of everything that's inside of us. Like, we are projectors in a way that our frequency draws in and creates our external reality, right? So you carrying that grudge inside of you is going to affect your life, not just with this person, but in other ways as well. And letting go and forgiving creates lightness and expansion and moving energy. So at first I was a little resistant to this piece of information that was coming through, but I was, told just to bring it through, let it come through. So we come from a place of oneness, and we come from a place of understanding self is understanding the other. It's really, we're so connected with everyone else that there is no separation, so it's easier to understand others. And when we come here, we still have that others are like me, or I understand the other, but in reality, we come in with a wiped slate with our memories, amnesia, and we don't know who we are and where we came from. We don't know our power. So we come in with that projecting of others, projecting of ourselves onto others. And that we have to learn that everybody's different from ourselves. So just remembering that we came into this reality with a blueprint of planetary influences and other influences that make us so different from each other. It's like each person it can be a universe in and of themselves, energetically. And if you look back into our own Akashic records, all of our past lives, everything that we've done, everything who we are, we're all so different. And we're in such a state of separation that taking in another as part of ourselves is something that it's very challenging for people to do, even in romantic relationships. Anyways, so I want to take this one level deeper, okay? When there is something that we don't understand in another person, it comes right back to ourselves, that there's something inside of ourselves that we don't understand. And as I have said before, when something shows up in your outer reality, it is a manifestation of something inside of you. So I'm going to show you how this has manifested in my reality. I'm going to give you an example in my own life about this. And when this came through, it really blew my mind, and it took me a while to really wrap my head around it, because it wasn't something that was obvious, and I still have to kind of think about it. But anyways, I'm going to draw it out just to make it a little bit easier to understand. So this is an example of my father in my life. So this is what I was shown. Let's say this is my internal world. This is my external reality. Okay. So it starts out for me recognizing something in my external reality, right? That's what our worlds are for. It's us turned inside out, right? Okay, so when you have a circumstance in your outside life, that's like, let's look at this situation and what is it inside of me it's showing me, right? Okay, so my father, he's pretty absent from my life, right? I mean, I can reach out to him. He may or may not, respond, and it's just not much of a relationship there. He's just kind of absent, right? So just absent. Okay, so what does that mean inside of me? Well, what I received was, there are things inside of myself that I don't want to see, right? Okay, so here's me, and then things I don't want to see, right? Okay, so here's a wall, right? And here's me. Things I don't want to see. There's a big block there. Father, absent. Here's me. Here's a big wall. Okay? So this is me on my internal world. This is the external reality showing me this thing. And so I don't know if that makes sense to you. I don't know if you can see it well. There's a little bit of a reflection there of the sunset. But as far as forgiveness goes, I see how in my internal reality it's showing up in my external reality. As far as things that I don't want to see in myself, when I received this information, I began to really pay attention to anything that is popping up in my being. Unwanted emotions that are not spiritual to experience, or that aren't good to experience, that we may have been taught as a child not to feel, like anger, jealousy, a fear, any of the uncomfortable emotions. And so many of us, when these things creep up, we're like, oh, no, you know, I don't feel that. I move on, I distract myself, right? But they don't go away when we do that. So receiving this piece of information has helped me look deeper at my emotions every time an emotion comes up, no matter what it is. And I allow myself to feel it, and I allow myself to kind of contemplate it and let it communicate what it's going to communicate to me. So, and I've come to realize that when I ignore my emotions, I deny myself the opportunity to create the happiest life for myself, because our emotions are a very important navigational tool. And I may do another video on that. But that's what I've learned, and in the process I have been able to create a very happy life. I'm very happy. So anyways, I think that's about it. If you have anything to say, please leave comments below. Let me know what you think, and thank you for watching. I appreciate you. Oh, one more thing, the crystal. Okay, so here's the crystal that I saw, and when I saw the crystal, I saw it just glowing with its color, and it just very much embodies that energy of forgiveness, that softness, that openness that comes with forgiveness. So this is the crystal. This is Amazonite. I love this crystal. This is one of my very, very, very favorite crystals. It got me through a lot of hard times. And it's such a beautiful, beautiful energy. So if you are working on forgiveness in your own life, you can grab one of these and stick it in your pocket, hold on to it, hold it, rub it, you know, allow its frequency and energy to assist you. It's a powerful crystal. I love it very much. So, all right. Thank you again for tuning in. I appreciate you guys. Until next time, take care.